Hey, what's going on out there? I'd like to welcome you all to Water Your Soil. So this is a video, I've been meaning to do this video for a while, and it kind of shocked me that I didn't do this video. I've been receiving a couple of comments from my subscribers as of late, and they've been asking me, what should they do after their secure card graduates. And I was a little bit thrown off because I thought to myself, wow, I really didn't do a video on what people should do after they graduate. I mean, I talk about it, but I didn't do a specific video on it. So I'm going to address that in this video. So if you have a secure card or you're thinking about signing up for a secured credit card, you want to watch this video because we're positive minded. We're thinking positive. I expect all of you to do what you need to do in order to graduate your secured card, whether it's in 7 months or 8 months, or whether it takes a year, whatever it may be, the goal is always to graduate your secured credit card. Now, I'll give you a little bit of background on me because I'm sure there are going to be a lot of you who watch this video, but you're not familiar with my channel. This is Water Your Soil. So I started my credit journey back in 2014, the end of 2014, early 2015. And it started off because my credit score was so bad that I struggled with getting a car from the dealership. So I couldn't get a car. I had to get my old car fixed. You can check out the video on that so you can see the whole story. And I'm going to do an updated version of that story as well because I have to provide some receipts for people. I don't like leaving people up in the air. A lot of people have some questions in that video, so I'm going to address them. I'm going to do a video addressing them. But what I will say is that started my journey for increasing my credit score and finding out a way to increase my credit score. So the first card that I signed up for, because I had one prior, I signed up for it, I think it was back in 2006. It was a Best Buy store credit card, but then that card actually got canceled. In 2014, it got canceled because I wasn't using it. So in 2014, like I would say middle 2014, that card got canceled. And of course, when I tried to contact them and see if I could still use the card, they was like, no, you would have to apply for a totally new card. So I screwed myself when it came to that because that was the only credit card that I had prior to me signing up for the Discover It secured credit card. So when I finally went and applied for the Discover It secured credit card, back then, like back in 2015, you actually had to apply for the original Discover Cashback card and you had to get it rejected. And then after you get rejected, Discover sends you the application to apply for the Discover It secured credit card. So you had to go through a process back then. It wasn't just an application for the Discover secured credit card like it is now, but I was approved and I did as much reading as possible on the Discover secured credit card. And after I did my reading, my card graduated within a year's time frame. I received my deposit back, and as you all know, your deposit with the Discover secured credit card, your deposit is your credit limit. So I received that back. And how I graduated, I have a video. I have multiple videos on that. You can check one of them out right here in this corner to let you know how to graduate your secured credit card. But this video right here is not about how to graduate your secured credit card. I already addressed that in videos. You can check them out as I stated. This is about what to do after your secured card graduates, because I expect you all to graduate, your secured card. So I'm gonna go and tell you what I did. As I always tell my subscribers, credit is case by case. It's all subjective. Every credit report is different. I could give you some advice and it may work for one person. It may work for 2 people or 3 people, but it may not work for everyone. And that's how credit works. So when you're out here and you're reading about credit, you have to look at your own credit report and see if whatever you're reading and learning about actually applies to your credit report. That's necessary and is very important because I think some people believe that when it comes to credit scoring, everything applies to everyone, and it doesn't, And that's why I tell everyone, your credit report is so important because everyone has different accounts on their credit report. Some people have student loans, some people don't. Some people have auto loans, some people don't. Some people have multiple credit cards, some people don't. Some people have personal loans. So everyone has different accounts on their credit report with different dates and different balances, different credit limits. So you can't take all of the advice and apply it to yourself. You're only going to be able to take some of the advice and apply it to your situation and actually see positive results from it. So when you come across people on YouTube or forums or wherever you come across information regarding credit, just know that all of the information may not apply to your specific situation because, of course, your credit report. But as I always tell my subscribers, the principles when it comes to this credit scoring thing, they're all the same. Make sure you pay on time. Make sure you're managing your accounts correctly. Make sure you're not late. All of these things apply. Those are the principles, and you want to be on top of them. I don't care if you have 1 account or 10 accounts. You want to make sure you're managing your accounts correctly because credit scoring comes down to debt management. Debt equals your accounts. So it comes down to how well you manage the accounts that you do have. Now, when I graduated my secured credit card, one of the first things that I did, and you want to do this as well, is if you have the Discover It secured credit card, you want to see if you could get an increase. Discover has an increase tool on their website. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with it. If you're not familiar with it, it's located on your account's homepage. You can scroll down right where you see your tools and benefits, and you'll be able to see request a credit limit increase. Now, the cool thing about the Discover It credit limit increase is that you can request an increase, a credit limit increase, and not get hit with a higher inquiry. That's big, especially for someone who just graduated their secured credit card and they're trying to improve on their credit score. Because when you do get a credit limit increase, it's going to help your credit score because, of course, you have a higher credit limit that goes towards your debt to credit ratio, and it will help in terms of utilization and things like that. So that's one of the first things you want to do. You want to request an increase. See if you could get an increase. If it's a hard inquiry, that's strictly your call. Listen, when it comes to this advice, use your own discretion. It's up to you whether or not you want to receive a hard inquiry. Now, with credit limits outside of Discover's credit limit increase tool, it usually does come with a higher inquiry to increase your credit limit. So be conscious of that. Realize that there's a possibility that you will get hit with a higher inquiry, but that's also the cool thing about the Discover credit card is you get to request a credit limit increase without, receiving that hard inquiry. Now, I constantly did it. Of course, I did it until I wore out my welcome. After a while, they was like, hey, you really don't qualify to continue to try to get these increases. And I just let it happen with them doing it, of course. But when I was able to do it manually on my own with requesting one on my own, I constantly did it. I would do it just about every 6 months. I will request a credit limit increase. Now, this was with Discover, so keep that in mind. I'm not saying that you should do it with your Capital One or other credit cards. This is strictly for Discover. Every 6 months, I was requesting a credit limit increase. Now, your situation may be different. Maybe Discover will offer you a credit limit increase without you even asking or requesting one, So like I said, every situation is different. I'm just going by what I did. And on top of that, you want to make sure that you're still managing your accounts the same way that you manage them in order to graduate your card. You graduating your credit card is a good sign. It shows that you were being responsible with your credit card. So you want to continue to do whatever it was that you were doing with your credit card. Make sure whatever it was, whether it was paying on time, even though you want to do that, pay on time, watch your utilization, make sure you're not late, manage your other accounts outside of your credit cards correctly. You want to do all of those things. And another thing that you also may want to consider as well is adding more cards. Like I said, use your own discretion. That's strictly your call. But if you are going to add more cards, please keep in mind that you have to be able to manage them correctly. You want to ask yourself, can you manage the cards that you want to add? If you can, and you can meet those minimum spend, then it's up to you. But if you can't, don't put yourself in the situation where you have credit cards that you can't manage and then you use them and you get in debt. Because around here, the key is avoiding credit card debt. So Those are the three main things that I say you want to do. You want to see if you could get a credit limit increase. You want to continue to do whatever it was that you were doing that helped you graduate. Don't stop that. Like, this is a lifelong process. You don't just stop once you graduate. You want to continue to manage your accounts correctly even after you graduate. You don't stop. And also, if you're considering adding other accounts and other credit cards, make sure that you will be able to manage them. You don't want to add cards that you can't manage or you can't keep up with. So that's just my opinion on the things that I did when I graduated my Discover Secured card. I'm sure other people have other options that they did. Leave them below if you do have other things that you did. Feel free to add them below. Also, I want you all to keep in mind one thing when it comes to these credit cards. Make sure you know about the credit card that you are using, because, you know, people come by and they ask me questions in regards to these credit cards. And a lot of the questions that I get asked can be answered by a credit card representative. So if you have a credit card and you have a question regarding your own credit card, take advantage of their customer service reps, because that's what they're there for. You don't want to just run in YouTube or run in Google when you have, I'm sure it's a chat button, or you could simply call a customer service representative of whatever credit card that you have and get an answer. Of course, I could give you answers, but if you notice anything about my channel, when it comes to people leaving questions, I want people to figure out things on their own. I'll give you hints, but I want you to do your own research, because that's important. You want to know how things works for your own credit report, and you want to be able to verify everything you learn, whether it's on this channel or another channel. Please verify everything you learn, test it out, see if it works for your credit report or if it doesn't. The key is managing your credit report correctly. But anyways, this is Water Your Soil. If it's your first time here and you're feeling the vibe, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, click on all notifications. That way you don't miss a video. Also, what I need all of you to do is hit the like button on the way out, because the algorithm loves the like button. It helps this video circulate. I appreciate you all for taking out the time to watch this video. If you graduated your secured card, congratulations. Welcome to the journey. But anyways, this is Water Your Soil. I appreciate you all for taking out the time to watch me, and I'm out. Wait. Before you leave, be sure to check out the description box below. That way you can have all the credit resources from Water Your Soil. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button as well, all right?